The interview you're about to hear took place last night, the 21st, August 21st, after Yachtly Crew played at Pala Casino for our first humans, where we could see humans in front of us, show since COVID. We did do the drive-in theater. So this interview is with Scotty Beatz. He's been helping us out with setting up stuff, and he's in a band called Kyle Smith. We've got extraordinary people working with us. Chris Husted, who's the sound engineer. Arturo, he's sometimes there, sometimes not. Sometimes we got Dusty. He's in a band called Night Demon. He's a drummer. And Robin Ryder, he's in a band called Mandex, Twin Temple, a bunch of other bands. Terrific drummer. So this is Scotty Beatz, and you start hearing just the barrage of synchronicities, and wow, so cool. I met so many great people. All right, without further ado, here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. All right, so we are listening to the, what's the name of this band?
It's Kyle Smith.
Okay, so the Kyle Smith band. And what's your name, sir?
My name is Scotty Beatz. Scotty Beatz.
Scotty Beatz, he plays the drums for this reggae band, which I think would be really good for the 311 cruise. So any of you who are out there, I'm going to pass this around actually within the 311 cruise people.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a little community in there. They're very, very helpful.
Cool.
Are you a fan of 311?
Yeah, I've been listening to 311 for a long time.
Have you ever been on a 311 cruise?
No, I've never been to the cruise. I met Nick and Peanut at Cali Roots when we played at Cali Roots with them. Met him briefly. Really nice guy.
So you guys were on a tour that they were a part of?
It's Cali Roots, which is like a reggae festival up in Monterey that they throw every year.
Oh, Monterey, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big reggae festival. Very popular. A lot of people go. And 311 played there in 2018. And we played a little acoustic set on a small stage.
How incredible. The fact that, so Scotty, he's a part of the whole ensemble, the whole Yachtly Crew family that's having these shows few and far between. Tonight we played at the Pala Casino, and he was just playing his band for me. And what do you feel? I was telling him that they have the most ultimate sense of ensemble. What do you feel that you like most about the band? What are some of the aspects?
I mean the connection that we have with each other. We're not band members. We're brothers. That and the equal amount of love for the music that everybody has in the band is amazing.
Do you feel like it's something you guys are building together?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for sure, Kyle. Because Kyle, he's the one who writes all the music, and he does. He's what you would say the director.
So he'll have an idea for a song. Say,
yeah.
Here's kind of an idea.
Yeah, and then he'll say where he kind of wants things to go, and then we'll take it from there. And then it always just works out perfectly.
And you guys just build
connection.
It, just grow it.
Yeah, definitely. So I would say that we're definitely growing this together, because when we started with Kyle, that's when he won a songwriting contest to play at Cali Roots in 2018.
That's awesome.
He won Cali Roots.
Was this before the band was together, or at what point during the band's formation did that happen?
That was right as I would say the band was formed for about 3 months, right? Because he already had his EP out before we started playing with him. We meaning Chris Nishida and me. Chris Nishida, the bassist.
Kurt, I wanted to give you a heads up that I'm using the theme song that you provided to my show a while ago. I love it. Strong body, strong soul. Oh my goodness. I have finally broken down, Kurt, and decided to divvy up my show into seasons. Season 4, I just ended 10 weeks. Every Wednesday, I released a new episode about meditation, about different spiritual practices that I've been exploring for years now, and sharing a little bit about what I teach in my chanting meditation that I can't do workshops right now because we can't all be in person, but I've been using Zoom and Facebook to help people out as much as I can. But this next season, season 5, is going to turn silly. And of course, your song is in the mix. I love it. It's awesome. And so are you.
And so it was really new for us at that point to get into Cali Roots. And then he won that contest, and he's like, guess what? You guys are coming with me. We're going to play an acoustic set together. It's not just going to be me. You know what I mean? He brought us with him. And we were the new guys.
And so while you were there at that festival, you were able to meet the 311 guys?
And that's when we were backstage and we did an interview.
Oh my God.
Right before 311.
Who did you interview for?
For Top Shelf Music with Christy Rose.
What is Top Shelf Music?
Top Shelf Music is like Top Shelf Music Magazine is what they call it. So it's like online, I guess what you call it, vlogs, right? And then videos and interviews, and they cover all kinds of reggae bands and stuff like that. And they actually did a write up on us recently, so on Kyle.
So, are you guys
media stuff.
Are you guys still like recording during the quarantine? Are you guys like sending music to each other?
Kyle definitely sends us a lot of music. Yes, he's constantly writing. Even before the pandemic, he was writing. But now that when the pandemic started, he bought himself a whole recording studio for his room. And now he's producing,
That's exciting,
recording
to be
his own stuff.
Collaborating with someone who is as prolific in that fashion.
Yeah.
Where it's just a never-ending stream.
Yeah. Yeah. Watching him from him playing on the acoustic guitar, the idea that he has, to him sending, hey, here's the file, check it out. Like, listen to what I did. And then seeing his, I say masterpiece because I watch him and he's just such a genius.
How long have you guys been together? Total?
About 3 years. Yeah, we've been with Kyle. Me and Chris have been with Kyle for 3 years, and then Drew joined about a year after us, who's a trumpet player.
So
he's been for 2.
Now, how many guys are in the band?
There's 4. So there's Kyle Smith. There's Drew Shermack, Drew, the trumpet player. Chris Nishida, the bassist, and then me on drums.
So, in addition to 311 and Fishbone, you recently played with Fishbone.
Yeah, we played with Fishbone a couple times. We've done a couple festivals with Fishbone too, like at One Love. They were at One Love, and then they've come and played at Discovery. We played with them. And,
so you've been in each other's paradigms. You've been kind of around each other's, for a while.
I've hung out with Angela quite a few times.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So how many times had you kind of hung out with those guys before you ended up getting this gig with this thing that you were just showing me?
With the Silverback music stream?
Silverback music
yeah,
stream.
That was for Juneteenth. That's what they did it for. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Well, so you guys had seen each other around
how
a while.
long? Yeah.
Yeah, so like
before
how
the stream?
How
many times have I? Probably about 5 times.
So did he have something to do with you guys being a part of this, or was this just like it just happened to be that way?
No, it was just honestly, it's just because he's with Silverback, and JP, who is the CEO of Silverback, who is friends with Kyle. So that's the connection there with Silverback, is Kyle and JP. But since Angelo's with Silverback, and we've been around Silverback a lot, we've been around Angelo a lot.
Incredible. Gosh, that is nuts, man. It's so funny how this whole conversation came about, because I was just talking about the 311 Cruise and how your band will be a perfect band on the 311 Cruise. And I said that's where I met Angela Moore and Fishbone, and then that's when you brought out the story saying, oh my God, well, I just did this thing recently with Fish, and I'm like, dude, this is nuts, man. These are the kinds of stories that seem to follow, Yachtly crew around, and the people that were, in these paradigms.
Yeah, I found it interesting that you guys did that 311 cruise. I found that interesting because 311 is part of that family, really, part of that whole Cali Roots family now.
Man, well, and it's nuts too because Tommy, the whole reason why he picked up a guitar was because he went to see 311 play at a concert when he was young. A little kid.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me.
And then he's like, that inspired him to pick up the guitar. And then he ends up playing basketball with Nick Hexum.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, my cousin Scott used to work for Capricorn Records long ago, back in the day.
Okay.
And he did all the Midwest promotions for the very first 311, when they signed the Capricorn.
Oh, wow.
So it's like when I was young, I would get these free promos for 311, these CDs.
Wow.
And that's how I was introduced to these guys.
It's all a big
dude,
circle.
and then it all just envelops one another,
yeah.
And so when you see how those, I mean, there could have been any events between there and here that could have happened.
Yeah.
Where any of this could not have happened.
Yeah.
And yet it did, and yet here we are all a part of it.
Yeah.
So, that stuff just astounds me when I really look at that.
It's all because of the music. The music has all brought us here.
Man.
It's all because of that.
Watching that thing with Angela Moore made me start thinking, it would be great if he had his own show. I think it'd be great if he had, a music show where he's doing that kind of thing.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. You should check out that. I'll send you the link to that live stream.
So was he
He
like
does
the
the
DJ?
whole thing the whole time.
Was
yeah.
he like
he's,
in between
he's
each?
the host.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So he does a whole piece too, and like I said, it was on Juneteenth. About Juneteenth is when all that stuff happened then. So it was back then. So he goes on about, he has some really good points about all the racism and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to go into that right now, but he has some really good points about all that kind of stuff. And that stream is very interesting. So yes, I agree with you. It would be a very good host.
Oh my gosh, I
a show.
just realized yet another connection. So my cousin Scott, who worked for Scott, holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is nuts. Wow, yet another connection. Okay, so this is crazy. So Scott, who did the Midwest promotions for 311, and I get free dude, same thing was with Fishbone. They were giving me, I heard Everyday Sunshine so early. I mean, I had the cassette tape of that. I remember it. I just wore that out. I loved it, man. And then my cousins would put Fishbone on there. And little did I realize that one day, this was the crazy thing. I used to substitute teach, okay, junior high. And one day in class, I was just asking the students what their favorite talents are and stuff. And this one girl, she's like, I'm like, does anyone play instruments? Okay, what do you like to play? And she's like, I play clarinet. I play the theremin. I go, what theremin? How do you even know what a theremin is? She goes, oh well, it's my dad plays it. He taught me how to play it. I go, what the heck? Your dad? How do you even know what a theremin is at your age? You're like 11 years old or something. She's like, well, he's in a band. Have you ever heard of Fishbone? I go, yeah. She goes, my dad is Angela Moore. I go, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Because before I moved out here, I saw Fishbone play at this Milwaukee Fest, and I saw Angela Moore on his back singing "Everyday Sunshine," and he was floating on his back across the sea. It was crazy, man. And his big head was up on the screen, and he went around this crowd, and they just passed him around all the way back to a letter U, and right back up onto the stage. Everyday Sunshine, and he's just they're just scooting him along. It was crazy, dude. So then here I am with his daughter in class. I go, oh my gosh. She goes, well, he's going to be calling around lunchtime because he's got to print up some flyers for my birthday do you want to talk to him? I go, are you kidding me?
Actually,
what's her name? It's something like Starla or something, or
I think I've met her before. I think she was around.
But it was crazy because I ended up going to her birthday party and there was Angela Moore. So I had met Angela Moore long ago. I first saw him long ago. I told her, I saw your dad body surfing on a whole crowd of people in an amphitheater. I go, this is crazy. And then when he called the classroom, I told him. I ended up seeing him at the birthday. And then flash forward, bam. Then I see him on a 311 cruise and I remind him of it. He's like, oh yeah, I remember you. Oh my God, it was nuts, dude. This is nuts.
Wow.
Now, Scott, here you are, Scott.
Yeah.
And then bam, Fishbone, 311, all these connections. These are things that just excite me, man. These are the kind of things I pay attention to, and the more that I pay attention to them, the more they happen. Lots more of them happen. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So many of these conversations. Do you have a lot of these kinds of conversations with people?
Oh yeah,
The synchronicities of life?
definitely, because it happens to me constantly. I mean, my life is that's my life in a nutshell. Is synchronicity. It's crazy, and it's, you know what, and it's not. It's.
What do you like most about them?
About what?
The synchronicities. What are some of your favorites?
What's some of my favorites?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a flow thing for me. I just go with the flow. And that's what I like about it. It being free. And just letting it happen. And then but then that's the cool thing, is it's just when you just let it go and you just let it happen, and then it happens in a great way.
It does.
You know what I mean? And
Wow, man.
my brother told me a long time ago. My brother's very spiritual and stuff like that, and he's into a lot of the kind of stuff like that. He told me a while ago, he said, hey, you know what? You need to live your life freely. You need to just go with the flow. That's how you're gonna be on your happy path.
Wowzers.
He told me that, and
Wowzers.
when he told me that, I really was like, you know what, you're totally right. It made sense. It clicked, and that whole synchronicity thing made sense to me finally.
Dude, it's incredible. These are some of my most favorite things to ever investigate and discover and find the Venn diagrams of. And then when they occur, I call attention to them and then follow the domino trail and see where they connect with each other.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to me, because then when I document it like that in my own mind, now I've wrapped that example up in my brain into almost kind of like a reservoir. It's almost like a bank, okay, of just like this credit of synchronicities.
Yeah.
So I know that I have that as proof of all those times those happen, and it's like, that's a large amount. So then it's like, dude, now I just tune into my intuition and I see things just go, and I just see them and I see where the little signs are and how it all connects. And it's so crazy, because the more I talk about them, the more they happen. It's amazing, man. There have been times where I've come across the people who've come to the Otley Crew shows, and we were at it was like a yacht club, okay, and it was like out in, let's say, Marina Del Rey, and there's a couple sitting at the bar, and they're talking about the synchronicity of how they met each other, and I'm like, this is amazing. And she goes, oh yeah, I got a synchronicity. The bartender says this, and I'm like, what? And she tells me this, and she goes, I just wrote a book actually, which is all about my synchronicities. I go, oh my god, of course. Wow. She goes, here, take a picture of me in front of the drum set. Well, in front of the drum set is the neon flamingo. On her book is a flamingo. So she's like, take a picture of me in front of the drum set. It's her holding up her book. So she ended up sending me a copy of this with the flamingo on it, and it's all about these synchronicities. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was just astounding, man. And I always remember that. So it's like crazy, because it strengthens my testing.
Yeah.
You know.
I think for me, it's like when those synchronicities happen, I feel like I'm on the right path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the right place. Like how we're having all these things happen right now. You know what I mean? When we were talking about all the connections.
Whoa, dude.
Like, I know that I'm supposed to be working with you guys for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially with all these connections. And I knew I felt that when I first started working with you guys, because you guys are a great group of guys and you're fun to work with. But it's just, I just know that I'm supposed to be here, you know? And I think that's the coolest part.
Oh, yeah.
Is that when you get that confirmation, you're like, yes.
Dude, yeah.
This is something special, and this is where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, yeah. So many things match up in just such an extraordinary way.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a miracle, the fact that we were all brought together.
Yeah, they're like little miracles.
They really
are.
They're
like little miracles that work out well. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! All the vibes surrounding this band, band, from the core all the way out, and it's like so many good vibes with the people who are part of it, and the fact that it goes and it goes out into the audience.
There's so many like really good musicians. You know what I mean? Like Robin. You know.
Dude, yeah, that's what's so interesting. And then Dusty. Dusty will help out.
Killer drummers. Both of them killer drummers.
Dude. We were so fortunate to have them there to like really know how to tune the drums, get all that stuff. Because
killer musicians.
Oh my God.
Everybody who is involved, everybody's just killer musicians. It's cool. And not only that, but the love for the music. Because you can be a killer musician, but just do it because you want to conquer it.
Yeah, right.
Not because you really have the love for the music. I've seen it so many times.
You know, I realize is that when the focus is on competition, then you're dealing with an ego, and you're dealing with this uphill battle of like, oh, we got to beat them out. But when you're so much more excited about the curiosity of unfolding your own reality and going, ooh, what else we got? Ooh, yeah, what else? And just cracking each other up. Oh, that's just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Because there's no effort needed. It's just like, oh, how do we build it? Let's just keep building. Here's a Lego. Oh, there's a Lego. And you just keep building it.
Naturally.
Oh, man.
Naturally build it. Yeah.
It's incredible because each of these guys, there'll be something that they'll say that I just had, either I said something earlier on the podcast about, and all of a sudden I'll come across them, and they'll go, and they'll say that same thing, and they'll make a reference to that exact same movie that I was just telling someone on the phone about, and I'm like, oh my gosh, of course.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's another, affirmation.
Yeah.
I'm thinking with all of the connections, with all the people just within this band, imagine if we were to charter a ship, and we've kind of played with this idea before, but we've wanted to call it the Yachtly Cruise, where it's like, we charter a ship, we take people out for maybe a 6-hour tour, and we play every other hour or something. I don't know, I'm just jamming on my mind right now.
Or your guys' own cruise.
Well, and this is what I was thinking too.
I mean, how perfect is that?
Well, and I'm thinking, imagine doing one of these, but we also do it with the bands that are involved, so we have your band as well. So it's like we have that sort of like, almost like a mini 311 cruise vibe.
Yeah.
And then Robin is in a band.
Yeah.
Which is like just such a crazy concept. What is it? Mandex, right?
Oh yeah, they're 80s, their little hair band.
Yeah.
They do the hair band.
That'd be funny. But
yeah.
and then Robin's also another band who just kind of like aliens. They're kind of like this alien vibe.
Yeah, I think, is that the one that he's that
like
he was
they did
on
a
tour,
promo video
that he just went on tour with? And then they go to Germany or something?
That's
a different one.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's another one. Oh yeah, that's like satanic doo-wop.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So who is one of your favorite drummers that you had growing up that inspired you to start drumming?
Dave Grohl.
And then also, did you mention earlier tonight that you know Dave Grohl? You met him?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the being there for a reason. Like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Because like I said, it wasn't just like I was where Dave Grohl was. Like my cousin and their kids go to the same school, and she has become friends with the whole family.
Incredible.
And then I was there with the family, which I was blessed to be there and part of that. You know what I mean? I was very blessed that my cousin was able to get me there.
I mean,
so it was like, and so at that point, and I got Kyle Smith CDs in my hand, and I leave it in his trailer. You know what I mean? And like stuff like that. Like that's when I know, and I'm backstage watching him, and I know I'm supposed to be there.
Wow.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
This is the taste that I was supposed to get the fuel lit. To get it lit. To get the fire lit.
Well, and the fact that one of those pieces of, that helps with that fire that's lighting it is the fact that this dude is a major inspiration to you that got you into drumming in the first place. So it's like you have these remnants of like 311. For instance, Dave Grohl, these people that
Chad
you looked
Sexton
up to that you appreciate.
Definitely a big
and all of a sudden it's like, what? This explosion of like, holy cow, now you're working with these people and you're in their circles and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I definitely had a hard time not fanboying when I met Nick and Peanut.
Well, who else? Okay, let's think of someone else right now that you would like to work with, that your future self is already inevitably working with right now. Okay, so who's another person that you, either another drummer you look up to, or a musician you like to jam with, or be in a band with? Let's just think. Crazy enough.
Huh. I mean,
because it's already happened. We got great examples.
I just want whatever's gonna happen to happen, really.
Well, for instance, who are some of your other inspirations?
Well, other inspirations, I mean, definitely if I got to jam with Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, Like if some of the songs that Taylor doesn't play drums on, he comes and sings. Like if I could get behind the kit and play that song with them, and Taylor's singing, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm playing drums with the Foo Fighters, I would definitely. That would probably be it. Honestly,
and it seems like he's got that kind of attitude where he allows for that kind of collaboration to happen. Because I've seen the different kinds of collaborations he's had throughout the years, like the Crazy Tenacious D stuff, and
he plays drums for them.
Like it's like nuts, dude. You see like the crazy realms he gets into.
But I don't know if you've seen the videos of where he pulls people up on stage. People will bring signs and say, "Let me play Monkey Wrench," for example.
Oh my God! What?
This guy, I swear to God, brought a sign that says, a big, huge sign he was holding up, and it said, "Let me play Monkey Wrench."
No way.
And he's like, "You want to play Monkey Wrench? What do you play?" And he says, "Guitar." He says, "Get up here." And they gave him a guitar.
Oh my God, how awesome is that?
You should check it out. You should look it up on YouTube. And then the guy killed it. He shredded. He was really good. He just started jamming, and then he's playing with the Foo Fighters on stage, just killing the song, man. And even Dave Grohl was like, "What the hell? Where did this guy come from?" Pretty much, And then he had a kid come up and play drums.
How
He's
cool
had a lot
is
of
that?
people come up and play.
So it's knowing that kind of track record, it's very good. That look how this stuff is unfolding already.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, I've been astonished by seeing the various people that have come to the Yachtly Crew shows that I've I've seen on TV, and I'm like, what? Here's this person, Mario Lopez. What is he doing there? Craig Robinson. What? There's that guy.
You saw Craig Robinson, huh?
Yeah, he
and
came to the
Lopez?
Viper room shows.
Mario Lopez. I was huge. I was a huge Saved by the Bell fan.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. He talks to Chaz all the time. He'll text him, "What's up, dude?"
That's
oh my
cool.
God, it's crazy, dude.
That's cool.
And Red Foo from LMFAO, he had us at his girlfriend's birthday party. It's so crazy, these various folks that are like. It's interesting when you experiment with your own authenticity, and you go, "Hey, you know what? Let's gamble on this one. Let's try this one now." Just doing this, and man, it's just so cool. You just go really deep into there.
Yeah.
So do you have songs that you've created?
Like my own songs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gone. I work with a studio named Lion City, and I've gone in there and done a lot of stuff for myself, and a lot of drum tracks for them too. Worked with
For who? Who are these people?
Filiberto Landros, Billy, who's the producer and engineer over at Lion City. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. So we've done a lot of collaboration. Whenever he needs a drum track, he calls me.
Wow.
And whenever I need anything else, I call him too. Whenever I need to record something for myself.
Collaboration is the key. It's great. All these examples you give are from a collaboration, a root of collaboration.
Yeah.
An ensemble. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's great because, do you know that phrase "yes and"?
Yes and?
Yeah. It's a phrase used in improv. So
Okay.
you're always affirming the reality of what this person says, and you just simply build upon it. And so, usually the default mode, a lot of people just say no. Or they go, no, for whatever reason. They'll just say no. They might not even necessarily mean no, but it's just kind of they just go to it. Or they'll go, no, it's this instead. The yes and principle is the idea that you just grow upon what's given in front of you. Okay. So you're adding upon it. So that's collaboration, So it's cool because it sounds to me like these various projects you've been a part of, you've usually added the extra seasoning to it. You've helped add other pieces to it.
Yeah.
And have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons or done like world building or drawing pictures or anything like that?
No, you know what? I never actually really got into that kind of stuff. Honestly.
Are you a writer at all?
No. I was into sports. I never really got into like writing or drawing or anything like that, honestly. I was always, I don't know, I'm more of a physical.
What do you suppose that spirit of being a part of the, being a part of the project or being a part of, to create this thing going, where do you suppose that that desire to want to help create come from?
You mean specifically for Kyle, or just period? Just
Well,
music,
like for
period?
you, like growing up,
Oh.
did you have people who encouraged you to just kind of go in whatever direction, to experiment and test things out? And...
Yeah, my father, for sure. I mean, I had good parents. I had good parents. They let me do what I wanted to do. If I had interest in something, there was no. There was like, okay, we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. They were always open to it. They were very open for me to do
Cool.
different things.
It
So I think
really
that
helps
I think that rooted it.
Yeah, it really helps expand a brain when you're able to just see what happens.
Yeah.
If the kid is like, I want to stop in a puddle. Okay, go ahead. See what happens, Johnny. And it's
Yeah.
okay. Now you know what it's like. Now
Yeah.
Instead of leaving this like what if in the kid's brain, it's like, okay, go ahead, test it out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's how it was, and that's for sure where it rooted from. Definitely, and then I think from there,
Were you ever part of like a high school band or anything?
I did do band for a little bit, but I was always part of teams. Like I said, sports teams.
Yeah. What kind of sports did you play?
Basketball, football, and volleyball, and baseball. A little bit of baseball, but not a lot. Mostly, I loved basketball. I just loved basketball. I wasn't a very physical kid, so I loved the fact that it wasn't too physical. Just a little bit physical, not too physical. Football was more physical, so I didn't like it as much. But I just loved the team, and I loved the strategic part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that obviously is where the music building came from. The song building.
Yeah, because you have to be aware of where everybody is at all times, don't you?
Yeah.
On the court, you gotta, use
I
your
guess as well
peripheral
as on the
vision and
stage,
see where
too.
people are. And
I guess.
so it was kind of a mental rehearsal, so to speak.
Yeah.
It was like a training.
Yeah, definitely.
For this.
Definitely. It trained me to be able to be part of a musical team. Definitely.
Yeah, where to fill in the blanks, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because okay, that guy's over there. He might. What if he passes over here? Okay, I got to get over
You
there.
gotta know
'cause
where
maybe
your
he's
part
gonna-
is. Because
Yeah.
a lot with basketball is a lot of zone defense. Where you're sticking in your spot.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you got to know
Yeah.
where you are and where your spot is and what your job is.
Yeah. Wow. I played soccer for a time, and I liked being the defender of the goalie.
Like, oh yeah.
I always liked defending the goalie. Like, you're not getting to the goalie. It was the coolest thing. It was just something about it. It was really cool. What was it? What favorite? Like, was there a specific? I don't know. In basketball, are there certain names for where you're hanging out on the?
I mean, like the
On the
positions
field.
and stuff like that. So this all,
Yeah.
It all had to do with what position you were in.
Yeah. So okay. So were there specific positions that you had?
Yeah, I was kind of a tall kid, so I was more of a power forward.
What does that mean?
There's different. So there's 5 different spots on a team in starters in basketball. Obviously, there's a lot more teammates than that, but there's 5 starters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 5 positions. Because on a basketball court, there's that oval line. Have you watched basketball before?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
that oval line where the 3-point line is and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So if you're looking at it this way, there's spots that you would be in if you're in a zone defense. Like the center's protecting the basket. You know what I mean? The power forwards are like...
So it's kind of a goalie.
Yeah,
He's
a little
hanging
bit.
out kind of by the basket.
Yeah,
Like-
because he's basically.
Gotcha.
He's guarding. He's trying to get blocks or trying to get rebounds, stuff like that. And then the power forward will be, because you have a power forward and you have a small forward, and then you have a point guard, which is the one who runs the ball.
Okay.
He's the one who calls the calls. He's the captain. The point guard's the captain. The point guard is the lead singer.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one who makes all the calls. So he's so if you're looking at it in a circle like this, I know they can't see it on the podcast, but
Right.
they can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. There's the perimeter, which is
Right,
what they
right.
call it, which is the line where the 3-point line is. So basically, if you're looking at it on the perimeter, you got the center by the basket, and then you have the power forwards kind of hanging out, or the forwards and the small forwards. You have the forwards kind of hanging out towards the outside, a little bit in between the perimeter.
Now, would the forwards be similar to like defense for soccer?
Forward. See, I don't
I'm
know much.
imagining that the guy underneath the basket is kind of like a goalie.
Unfortunately, I don't know much about soccer to be able to make the connection.
Okay, all right.
Or to be able to,
All right, so you got a couple of guys on the side. So you got the one guy right kind of hanging out by the basket.
And then you got the power forwards here, and then you got the guards up here.
Ah, okay.
You got the power. Right. Because on defense, obviously the point guard isn't. He's the one who's guarding the guy who's running the ball, which is the guy making the calls. The quote unquote lead singer. You know what I mean?
Those guys are the main ones calling everything?
The point guards are.
Okay, because they're going back and forth between.
They're the ones running the ball down.
Now these guys got to stay here, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm just talking about on defense if you're doing a zone defense.
Right.
Yeah.
So they got to stay around the basket.
If
they can't go anywhere else.
There's different kinds of defenses, but yeah.
Okay, so you got this guy, you got these guys, you got this guy.
Yeah.
The center guy.
Power forwards.
Right.
And then the guards. So here's the line, right? Center hangs out right here by the goal or by the basket, and the forwards are watching the forwards, which are usually somewhere around here. They're either gonna try to post up, or they're gonna try to there's a lot of forwards that can shoot the ball, so they're gonna come out and shoot the ball, and that's when they're just watching these zones. So you're watching this zone as a center. You're watching this. This is your zone. Power forward, this is your zone. Small forward, this is your zone. You got your shooting guard, this is your zone, and then you got the point guard, which is basically point guard's just gonna watch the ball, because the point guard is gonna run. The other point guard is gonna run the ball down. So those are your roles.
Okay.
So that's why I did that comparison.
Incredible. So I could definitely see how that would train you for ensemble work.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any acting?
I did plays when I was a kid.
Really? What plays?
I mean, it was just children's plays. They were like, during the summertime, they would do like these little plays over in Ventura and
Peter Pan.
Yeah, we did Peter Pan.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you in it?
Yeah.
Who did you play? A Lost Boy?
God. What did I play in Peter Pan? I can't even remember.
Wow.
I tried for Hook so bad. I think I wasn't one of the Lost Boys. I was like one of the Indians or something like that, I think I was an Indian. But I played Prince Charming in Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, cool.
That was cool. And I mean, I had the biggest role of anybody. I had the most lines.
What did you remember to do? How did you prepare?
I think I was like 10 years old.
How did you prepare for so many lines? What did you do?
I just honestly had a really, really good memory when I was a kid. Better than I have now. But it didn't take me long to memorize scripts when I was a kid. I would just read.
Repeating it?
I would just read. And then my mom would help me because she would play the opposite roles. And it was more effective for me to act it out with my mom than for me just to kind of read it and try to do it on my own. So since my mom helped me, it was a lot easier for me, and I got it a lot quicker. So that script was nothing for me.
So that's cool. That's great that you had that encouragement growing up.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. So many times I've thought to myself, gosh, if you only just simply encourage the kid to go in the direction that they absolutely love, they will inevitably be successful in that area of expertise, because they're just going to keep growing this possibility. Like, oh, yes. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And so many kids are just shoehorned into, being lawyers or something.
one of the biggest things that's helped me is that I've told myself that there is no fail. Because in my mind, it's not a fail when you're learning. And that's what failing, quote unquote failing is learning. So as long as you're taking that moment of failure, quote unquote, and you're turning it into a positive, there is no fail. You cannot fail.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting? Because it's like, especially when it's approached as an experiment or a what if or let's try this. I kind of imagine like it's an analogy of like a
it's a huge thing. Perspective is such a huge thing.
Yeah, because it's just testing. It's just testing stuff out.
Yeah, because when you're talking about that too, as looking at it as an experiment, and then you're not being as disappointed by your outcomes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're not trying to force some expectation or something.
Yeah.
It's unfolding. It's so interesting because, like, when you just go, hey, here's imagination and let's unpack it just for kicks, just to entertain ourselves, just to play with this silly delusion, you know, and go, okay, why not? You know, everyone else is living in their own other delusion. Why can't I just invent my own delusion? You know, and just test it out. You know?
But the thing is that, like, as long as you know that that's what that is.
Yeah.
And you're staying grounded through all of it.
Well, and it's playing a game.
You know what I mean?
It's like
that's... Yeah.
It's like it's like no different than playing a video game. You're going, okay.
Yeah, because then you're going back into reality afterwards. You know what I mean? You turn the power button off. You know what I mean? And you're done with your game. And then, all right, back to life. You know what I mean? Kind of the same thing. Well, kind of the same, a little bit of the same concept.
Oh yeah, because the idea is that, like, if you want to manifest things, you're not going, oh please, will you show up, please?
Manifestation.
It's like you're just allowing it to happen.
Don't get me started on that. That's a whole other ball game. That's a whole other thing that I can get into. Manifestation.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this, please. I love talking about
manifestation. Is like is one of the coolest things.
Yes, good.
On this planet.
This is one of my favorite things.
If you know how to really just work with it.
Yeah.
Not force.
Yeah, no.
Because the second you try to force,
it's a collaboration.
It'll wither.
It's a relationship.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
As soon as you try to force it, it's just gonna wither.
Oh yeah.
So it's such a tricky thing too. It's tricky and it's like, but it's not tricky. It's just
right.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Is the biggest step to manifestation.
You know what? I just realized the manifestation is the gift that's given to the person who doesn't overthink the thing that they want. That's the gift they get. You know, it's like, here you go.
That
because
is the
you didn't try to force
perfect explanation right there.
Like, it just beamed to me. I'm like, holy cow.
That's the explanation. How
funny is it and how beautiful is that?
Manifestation.
Because it's like, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, let's just test it. Mm-hmm. You know, and you go, all right, go ahead. You go ahead and take care of that.
But like I said, but believing in yourself is a big part. You know what I mean? Having confidence in yourself, believing in yourself, believing in the fact that you know that you want to be the best person you can be.
Yeah.
Is seriously the biggest step to being able to manifest. Once you love yourself, watch yourself start to manifest. Once you believe and love yourself and you know.
Yeah.
Like when you know that you're in the right place.
Yeah. Oh,
and then you have all these things happen. You know what I mean? It's just that's love yourself. You know what I mean? Believe in yourself and you'll be able to manifest. Guarantee it. I guarantee it.
It's so incredible because it has to be a surrender of ego. It has to be a surrender of holding on to an identity or something, or grasping onto it's got to be this. Oh, please. Because it's interesting. Because
No,
like, the more that
it never has to.
Right. Because the interesting thing is,
you
it's
don't
like,
have to put anything after that. It never has to. It's Chris calling me.
oh, dude, let's talk to him.
Okay. Hey,
Chris.
buddy.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Chris, I'm interviewing him for my podcast, and now you're on my podcast.
Whoa. Oh, you're interviewing Scotty on your podcast?
Yes, and we're talking about synchronicities and manifestations of reality.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I was just calling to check on it, make sure it was okay.
Oh yeah, dude, we're deep diving.
All right, cool. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
well,
good.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I appreciate that, Chris.
All right, man.
Ace
I'll see you
Houston!
Sunday.
All right, cool.
All right, later.
Thank you for that sound. Wow, he dials it in. But these are the things that I absolutely love talking about. Synchronicities, manifestation of reality.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so crazy because that's part of that thing where you get so used to, like, okay, what really got me to this idea was, it first started with the ego of like, hey, how come whenever I have these ideas, all of a sudden I see a movie showing up with that idea or a song with that idea, and my ego would be like, damn it, that's not fair. And then I realized, whoa, that's actually a sign that I could have collaborated in that existence. So then I came up with this idea of thought clouds. Like, it's like this thought cloud that goes, do I use this idea? And you're like, yeah, I do. And once you use it.
But that was like taking a negative, but I mean, it was to you at your personal moment.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
you, that was negative.
Yeah,
And then
oh
you
yeah.
Turned it into a positive.
Yeah, and it was so crazy because I had to die
That's
to that ego.
manifestation in itself.
Oh my gosh, and it felt so good once
Do you know
I
what
realized.
I mean? It is. It's a little bit of manifestation in itself.
Gosh, it was.
Because I mean, it's like I said, it's such a deep thing. It's so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You can talk and you can go into different angles about manifestation for
Oh,
days
yeah.
and days and
Oh,
nights
yeah.
and nights upon days and nights. You know what I mean? Because it's just. But like I said, but yet it's so simple.
Oh yeah, and what's so beautiful is.
That's what it makes it so. I don't know. I think that's what makes it so special.
And I love hearing other people's perspectives as to how those connections and the key unlocks the door and how the bridge is. I love hearing others' philosophies because what's so beautiful is that the Venn diagram with my own philosophies, my own theories and stuff. Because it's like these are just the different ways that the universe is communicating with showing one another how it's viewing itself through that other
That's true.
version's eyes and going, here's how my relationship with it is. Oh, wow. Sounds like a lot like my relationship. And I define it like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, I know that word.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to find the commonalities.
Definitely.
Man, it's so fun. Because then what happened was once I got like, I was like, you know what? If I'm evidently creating those things out there, why don't I just follow my intuition and create the thing and just get the credit myself? You know, and it's like, then I just started creating things and I started seeing that it wasn't some sort of uphill battle of like, oh, how can I create this thing? But it was just more of like, yeah, I'm going to create it. And it was just trusting in that process, trusting in that evolution of however it was.
That's trusting in process and evolution. But you know what? That's something that I struggled with my music for so long. Just being completely honest, and I'm talking about ego because it was my ego. It was me going, "Where's my recognition?"
Do you know
what I mean?
Right.
Trying to force my time. You know what I mean by forcing my time?
Right.
It wasn't my time. And I was trying to force it for so long. And then when I finally gave that up, that's when Kyle Smith called me and said, be my drummer.
Wow, man, that lightning strikes when oh my God. It's so funny because it's like when there's that relationship with the universe and we treat it like it's a friend, like it's like okay, first of all, one trait that like I don't think anyone likes is the stink of desperation. Oh, please like me, right? No one likes that. So
Yeah.
then I realized,
Yeah.
well, no wonder that the universe is not going to give the person who's like, oh, please. It's like, okay, no, that's not the relationship we're having here. You know, this is This is a we're
Yeah.
working together here. It's not like, gimme. No, come on, we're working together here.
And also, I think that also goes back to the self-love thing. I
Yeah,
think that
right,
those
right.
kind of people have a problem with self-love.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they don't self-love them. They don't love themselves, because that would be judgmental of me, and I wouldn't, you know what I mean? That's not
Right.
my place. But I could see them having a problem with that.
Yeah. And the worry
Kind of
that
maybe
things work
grasping
out.
the idea.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yes. That there's always some terrible thing waiting around the corner. That they're worrying about
Yeah.
the worst outcome.
Yeah.
And that, it's
I
probably
feel
not going to work
I feel
for me.
That's a big problem in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody is just waiting for the worst.
Yeah, it's interesting. And it's so funny because for some weird reason we're taught, I don't know why, that chances are, or the probability is, it's not going to happen. Why is that the probability? It's
Because-
probable that it just might happen,
Well, guess
And
what?
it's
You
like,
just manifested that it's not going to happen.
right. See, isn't that crazy? It's like,
That's the thing, and that was one thing with my music too. That of why I kept going was because there is no other outcome. There isn't. There is no other outcome other than me being exactly where I want to be when it happens, because that's when it'll be my time.
wow.
It's I don't know, man. A lot of really special things started happening when I really gave that up. When I stopped going, well, what about me?
Dude, it's great when you're in that curiosity stream of going, oh, you know what? I'm paying obedience to the inspiration and the excitement that I have right now. And if I'm constantly in that state, well then, I'm constantly drawing from inspiration and then consequently putting that inspiration into my life, in my words, in my actions, in my
everyday
music.
life.
Isn't that beautiful? It's like it just keeps be getting more of that beautifulness, because then it's like Johnny Appleseed.
And then you make that the routine, because as humans, we routine. You know what I mean? We make things routines. So that's one good thing is when you practice that and you make that part of your routine, then that just brings so much more positivity to your life. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And then when you're in that vibe, what's beautiful is you can recognize it in others, just like this is,
Exactly.
that they're tuned into that same frequency.
Yeah.
They're into that same radio station.
Yeah. The saying "great minds think alike" didn't come from nowhere. It didn't come from just nowhere.
And isn't it interesting that the same inspiration between these minds, as vastly different as they seem, the same inspiration is to make a connection with, all that is, or imagination, or just trying to be more creative, or have a relationship with the universe in some fashion.
Yeah.
Whether it's a philosopher, whether it's a scientist, whether it's a musician.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, he's totally like, nobody can explain what he's doing because he's just tuning into the univerce. That's what he's doing.
He doesn't even know what he's doing. It's just, totally.
You're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla, huh? And it's just like, there's that commonality of like tuning into this. And so then it's great because then when you read books, or their notes or stuff about them and you go, oh my gosh, I relate to that guy. You're like, oh my God, that's crazy. Or you see them quoting something that you had a discussion with one of your friends with, years ago or just yesterday or something. You're like, no way. Einstein just said that? Are you kidding me? We just had a conversation about that.
Relating is a big thing.
Oh, man.
I really wish that just everybody in this world could just try to relate with everybody a lot more. I wish they could. But it will come. I know it will.
Oh, yeah. And all we merely have to do is do it within the relationships that we have within the people that we know.
All you got to do is just do your part by just doing what we're doing right now.
And that high vibe, it's a beacon. It's a beacon. That high vibe attracts those who can see the aura. It's like, oh, I see that aura. They can kind of see like, all right,
definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
So we have 5 minutes before this thing hangs up. Are there other SoundCloud pages or anything that you want to direct people to?
You could go to if anybody has Instagram, you can go to @KyleSmithJams. That's Kyle's page. If you want to follow me, you can go @Scotty Beatz with a Z, BEATZ, SCOTTY BEATZ 805 at G. Yeah, no, just yeah.
Do you have a website, a
That's for
Facebook,
Instagram.
or anything? Let's say someone wants to hire you for any of your various talents.
Yeah, just message me on Instagram, which is Scotty Beatz 805.
IG, baby!
If you don't have IG, Scott Brown on Facebook. If you just go to Kyle's page, it's Kyle Smith. You'll find me there. You could also reach out to Kyle. Kyle does all kinds of cool acoustic things, and we do it with him. And you can reach out to him to get a hold of me as well. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto. Scotty Beatz.
Thank you.
Take care. Scotty Beatz, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to interview you and for spilling the beans on synchronicities and manifestation of reality and the way that your creative process unfolds. Also, thank you so much, Maria Humphreys, for all of your kind words. Thank you for stopping by the show and leaving an extraordinary message. I love the fact that you divided your podcast up into episodes, into seasons. By the way, folks, check out Maria Humphreys at Strong Body, Strong Soul podcast. Strong Body, Strong Soul podcast. And you can hear the theme song that she just mentioned that I sang for her. And also, thank you so much, Richard Wilson, for stopping by, for closing us out here. Folks, go listen to Kyle Smith Band. Go check out Strong Body, Strong Soul. Go check out Under the Flowers by Richard Wilson. And go check out Yachtly Crew. We got a live stream actually happening the 23rd. That's Sunday. That's tomorrow. So we'll be doing a live stream. That'll be most likely on, I don't know, Facebook, maybe YouTube. Yachtly Crew. Okay, take care, folks. Stay inspired.
This is Richard Wilson of Mad Shelley Films, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto Radio.